Hey everybody and welcome back to my channel. My 1 year moving to Nicaragua anniversary is coming up shortly and I thought it would be fun to film a things I haven't done in the past 1 year video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Allison. I currently post content on this channel surrounding our relocation from Canada to Nicaragua. If you're interested in that kind of content, the subscribe button is down below, along with my Instagram and TikTok. Before I start this video, I just wanted to give a little disclaimer on my hands. As you can see, I'm having a terrible reaction to the medicated dog shampoo that we are using on the dog that we rescued last week that I posted a video about. He now has a name and his name is Dobby and he's doing so well. He's put on so much weight and his skin is getting a lot better. However, I have reacted terribly to the shampoo, so if you catch a glimpse of my giant hands and blisters, that's what's going on. Okay, so I've been compiling a list of things that I can remember anyways that I haven't done since moving to Nicaragua, and I'm just gonna read them out to you guys, although I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of things. I bet I can make a part 2 once I start remembering all the things that I haven't done, but here's what I have so far. The first thing is I haven't taken a bath. Back in Kelowna, I took baths all the time. I really love my bathtub, specifically because I was cold a lot of the time and that's what warmed me up. So for one, I haven't been cold. I haven't been cold at all since I've been living here. And for two, baths are very rare. We actually put one in my middle daughter's room when we built the extension so that she can have baths. It is just a regular standard size tub, so I have no desire to get into it because it's not a big tub and I haven't been cold. But yeah, that's the first thing. I haven't taken a bath in a year. Keeping on the bathing trend, I haven't taken a hot shower in a year. We do have hot water in this house and I could take a hot shower if I wanted to, but honestly, showering is more refreshing than anything because it's hot here all the time. So I take like a medium shower, but I have not had a hot shower in a year. Next up, clothing, and I've mentioned this in other videos, but all I have worn in the past year, quite literally, is shorts, tank tops, dresses, bathing suits, cover-ups. And occasionally, if I go to yoga and I'm not wearing shorts, I do have like capri style yoga pants. So I guess those as well, but that's very occasionally. And I also have like lightweight, breathable cover-ups if I do decide to wear that over top of a tank top. But I have not worn pants, I have not worn jeans, I have not worn a sweater, I haven't worn a jacket, I haven't even worn a rain jacket. I mean, it does rain here, but it's not like I'm out there just frolicking in the rain. I've never put on a rain jacket. I haven't put on boots. I do have runners, but the majority of the time I'm wearing flip-flops. So yeah, anything for cold weather I have not worn in an entire year. Moving on to food. I don't know why this one sticks out to me. I mean, there's lots of things I haven't had, but I haven't had Starbucks in a year, which is crazy. There is a Starbucks in Costa Rica. We just haven't been there since we've been living here. So when we do decide to go down to Costa Rica, I will hit up Starbucks, but I haven't had Tim Hortons. I haven't had, I don't know, anything that I'm trying to think of from back home, like any restaurants like White Spot or anything like that. I haven't had any chain brand restaurants in a year. And I also have not been through any sort of drive-through in a year. So yeah, wanted to mention that. Although there is, I believe, a drive-through McDonald's in Managua. I haven't been to it, but I think there are drive-thrus here. I just personally haven't been through a drive-through. Okay, moving on to dishes. We have not used a dishwasher in a year, which is kind of crazy to think about. We've been hand washing our dishes this entire time. Dishwashers do exist here. Our house just didn't come with one. We do plan to get one at some point, but our kitchen needs to be renovated and like the layout changed a little bit to allow space for a dishwasher. But yeah, surprisingly, we have not used a dishwasher in a year. Driving. Traffic lights. I have not personally gone through a traffic light in a year, which is so crazy to think about and to say out loud. There are traffic lights here, specifically if you go into the bigger towns like Managua up north, there are traffic lights. I just personally haven't gone through one myself. Even when I've been in Managua, it's only in certain areas that they exist or that they are located, and I haven't had to drive through one, just mainly roundabouts, stop signs, things like that. And here in the town where I live, where I do most of my driving, there are no traffic lights, which is, again, so weird. I'm very curious when I do go back to Canada to visit how it's going to be driving again. Just the whole driving culture in general is very different as far as rules and how people drive and the use of horns and pedestrians and dogs and cats and all the things, horses that are on the road. Yeah, it's a very different driving experience, but if I could pick out one thing in particular, it's been that I have not been through a traffic light. This one's kind of a given, but I have not been skiing or cross-country skiing or skating or have done any winter sports in a year. I didn't do a ton when I lived back home anyways. Like, I haven't snowboarded in years and years and years. We were doing cross-country skiing in the winter time, but if I could choose between summer, like water sports, and winter sports, I definitely choose summer sports anyways. So I'm not really sad about that, but I haven't been around snow and I haven't done any winter sports. This next one I actually just thought of this morning, and it's that I have not drank tap water in a year. We do have water here and we can use it for cooking. It is sourced, our development has spring water, I believe, and there are people who drink the water. I personally haven't yet. We are using those big bottles of water that we buy, and that's what we've been using for our water for the entire year. So I don't know if I'll ever decide to try the water that comes out of the tap, but for now I've just been drinking bottled water in those big jugs for the past year. Okay, yard work. The houses that we lived in back in Canada had really big yards. I had a giant garden and just like lots of grass, not just the last house we lived in, but previous houses to that. And I remember spending just many hours, specifically on weekends, both my husband and I, doing yard work, and that hasn't been something that we've done in the past year, which has honestly been kind of nice. It's obviously because we have a cuidador, and that's part of his responsibilities is, you know, trimming hedges or weeding or whatever needs to be done out there. We don't have grass, which is really nice, so it's not something that has to be mowed every weekend, but yeah, no yard work. I do the gardening myself though, but that's because I just love to garden. And then what was the other thing? Car maintenance. So my husband used to do all our car maintenance when we were back in Canada, and now since we've been living here, we've had mechanics working on our vehicles. They've just been different types of vehicles, and it's harder to source parts, so it's just easier to go through a mechanic. That's one thing that he had me write down. I was like, think of some ideas we haven't done in the past year. Also car washes. We haven't been through any sort of car wash. There are, I believe, car wash places that you can take your vehicle to. Honestly, our car gets dirty so fast that I don't really worry about it. And sometimes our cuidador will clean our car for us on the outside because, I mean, especially during rainy season, the car gets pretty muddy, but it's just not something that I worry about. So yeah, no cleaning cars. And the last thing I wrote down is felt the need to plan a vacation or go on a vacation, which is something that I did all of the time, literally my entire life living back in Canada. I am a lover of the sun, I guess is the best way to put it. I've always been feeling the need to go down south, and whenever we could afford it, I always wanted to plan trips, tropical trips specifically, and clearly since I live here, I have not felt the need to do that. All right, so that's it. That's all I wrote down, at least. That's all I can remember. I just thought it'd be fun to film this video. If you have anything that you think that I missed, let me know and I'll make a part 2. But yeah, those are the things that I haven't done in the past year. It's gonna be very interesting when I do go back to Canada for the first time, I feel like. Interesting for my kids as well, especially my youngest. I'm just very curious to see their reaction, because we are planning to go back next year. That will be our first big trip back to Canada, and we'll probably go for an extended period of time. So that'll be 2 years since we've been back to Canada, and I'm sure a lot will have changed in that time. And yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. So that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.